Welcome to Own Your Career, Own Your Future, a Schneider Electric podcast where industry experts across different fields from around the world share on trending topics, insights, and career advice on how the next generation can contribute to creating a more digital and sustainable world. This show aims to be a trusted voice for students and early careers who are looking to kickstart or advance their career with Schneider Electric or in related industries.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Own Your Career, Own Your Future podcast, where we dive deep into the different careers in Schneider Electric. Tanya, how are you doing today?
Doing really well. Just coming back from the Diwali holidays, and it's great. I bet things are looking great, and we're looking great in India too. Did you celebrate, Moen?
Actually, I was not in India. I just came back from a vacation, so I had been to Dubai. But I explored that, they also celebrate Diwali in a great way. So it was culturally a different Diwali this time.
Wow, that's very interesting. And, speaking of your trip, our guests are from around the region, aren't they?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I couldn't meet them. So better luck next time.
Well, today you do. And speaking of today, we have a very exciting episode for our listeners, and it ties extremely well to our previous episode about digital careers, doesn't it, Moen?
Yeah, definitely, Tanya. And today we have a very special episode featuring three remarkable early career talents who started the journey as graduates in an award-winning Middle East and Africa graduate program at Schneider Electric. And they have since become experts and innovators within the digital role. We'll sit down with them and dive deep into their experiences and sort of why they chose to apply for Schneider Electric's graduate program, why Schneider Electric and why a digital career, and what their careers look like now, and learn how they're contributing to Schneider Electric's sustainability mission.
So, Moen, I'm ready to jump straight into it. But before we get started, let's introduce our three guests for today. So we have Imad Tubar, Noor Mahmood, and Abdullah Ibrahim joining us. A very warm welcome to the Own Your Career, Own Your Future podcast.
Thank you so much for having us. We really are very honored and very happy to be here.
Before our audience gets to know more about your career and your journey so far at Schneider, why don't we hear a bit more about yourselves, maybe your background?
Imad, let's start with you. Can you tell the audience a bit about yourself, how you came to work for Schneider Electric, and maybe a fun fact about yourself, and what are your hobbies?
Well, thank you very much, Moin and Tanya, for the lovely introduction. I'm very happy to be among you all and among all my colleagues from Schneider. I'm currently working as an e-commerce analyst in the Gulf marketing team based in Dubai. I come from a data science and computer engineering background, so I actually find my work to be quite fulfilling when it comes to that aspect. And now outside of work, I really love to go swimming. It's something I've been doing since childhood, and at some point I used to do it competitively as well. And I also love to do some gaming after hours, something to help me relax from a long day of work. And that's pretty much it about me.
Great to have you with us, Imad. And Noor, how about you?
Hi everyone, I'm Noor Garhi. I live in Cairo, Egypt. My role in Schneider is the data analyst. I also come, as Ahmed, I come from computer science background. So it's interesting to apply what I studied with what I'm doing now currently. And speaking of hobbies, I really enjoy traveling and exploring like different places, different cultures, places and scenery. And one interesting thing that I like doing is shooting pictures on film like the old ways. And that's it.
That's fantastic to hear, Noor. And I love shooting with a film camera myself. So maybe we can connect over that later.
Yeah.
But Abdullah, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hello, great people. Hello, everyone. I'm Abdullah Ibrahim, and I'm really excited to be here today. I've been part of Schneider Electric's graduate program 2022, and I'm now working in the digital buildings liaison marketing team as a data steward so far. I'm from Alexandria, actually, in Egypt, and I'm working in between Cairo and Alexandria. I love to play paddle tennis, work out, and storytelling. And regarding the storytellings, my colleagues can tell how funny my stories and adventures they are, actually. And that's it from my side.
This is going to be a very interesting conversation. Noor, were you about to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we sure can tell from Abdullah's stories.
That's great. So it's wonderful to have a storyteller, a photographer, and a competitive swimmer on board today. And now, just to put it into context for all our listeners and to give them a little bit of a sneak peek and to tell them something about you guys. So, all three of you have come from the Schneider Electric graduate program. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
And a fun fact about me is that I've done the same thing, but maybe not a digital program. I went through the marketing program. And a lot of our listeners might not be aware that Schneider Electric does offer a wide range of graduate opportunities all around the globe. And this includes, a very structured program that provides you an opportunity to learn a bunch of new skills and work on very interesting projects across a wide breadth of topics. And these projects and these opportunities not only support you in learning about or developing skills, but rather learning about the company and the industry, while also making an impact on the sustainability and innovation front. And of course, this impacts our business greatly, but also our customers, and in some cases, their customers. And with that said, I'll let Moin kick off with the next question.
Certainly, Tanya. So, guys, today we'd love to get your thoughts on what specifically interested you in Schneider Electric and how did the graduate program come into play in your decision. So, Noor, we'll start with you.
Yes, sure. So I'd like to take it one step back. As I said, I studied computer science, and it was interesting to learn about the graduates program and that they were looking for like students who come from backgrounds different than engineering. It was interesting for me to learn that in an electrical company, they're interested to look into something different, and I got to learn like they're moving into this digital world and how I can apply my studies in computer science in different roles. And what was interesting for me in the graduates program is that you could explore different things. You can decide later on which parts you want to get more into. And that was one of the main reasons how it was structured. It was very interesting for me and it got me interested into joining the program.
It's really exciting to hear that, you've been able to leverage your background in this field. And I wonder if that's the same across the board. Abdullah, why don't you tell us a bit more about your experience and what interested you or excited you about applying for the program at Schneider Electric?
Yes, for sure. So actually, I want to mention that for me, before joining the graduate program, I was actually a summer intern in 2020 within Schneider Electric. Then I became an intern ambassador before joining the graduate program. So I was actually fully aware of the program at that time. And today, being a full-time employee, like I'm learning a lot from my mentors and colleagues, managers, and everyone. And here, everyone is developing his own skills and having access to fantastic and very useful resources within Schneider Electric. And what really excites me actually that we are always up to date. We are always upgrading and going to new technologies. That actually personally adds value to me as an employee and to the whole community actually.
Yeah, that's great, Abdullah. And I think we believe that in Schneider Electric, when we stop learning, we start growing. That's actually a very wonderful point. And how about you, Imad? What were some of the factors that made Schneider Electric stand out for you? And how did the graduate program align with your aspirations?
Well, actually, for me, it was my friends outside of work that led me to the Schneider graduate program. So my friends actually used to intern before I joined at the company. And based on their experiences, I used to see them always, full of joy, full of happiness. And they would always tell me about their time in Schneider. And this was around the time when I was still in university, still continuing my studies. So once I was done, one of the same friends that I mentioned recommended the program to me. And, I felt that I really wanted to apply based on everything that I've heard, especially about the environment and how everything is very friendly in Schneider. And as my colleagues mentioned, you really do grow as an employee in Schneider Electric. So it led me to do some digging, which led me to applying. And eventually, I'm here talking to you after the graduate program ended. So really, it was the environment and the growth opportunities that led me to Schneider and still to this day keep me in Schneider.
You said that your friends were very happy. Are you happy?
Definitely. I mean, I come to work every day feeling motivated and feeling excited. And then this feeling still continues. I've been here a year and a half, and it still continues every day. Of course, you have these challenging days, but this comes with any work that you do. But it feels more like it's not a chore for me to do the work. It's definitely a joy to do the work here at Schneider. So it's a very good point for me.
It's absolutely wonderful to hear that, Ahmad. And I think maybe later down the line, it might come to a full circle moment where someone is telling you that, hey, I heard you on this podcast, and that's kind of why I joined Schneider. And I hope that you get to experience that someday. It's wonderful to hear how you've come to Schneider in your journey in your transition from university to then pursuing a full-time job, and how it's brought you to your current roles within the digital space. And I'm sure many of our listeners are curious about your journey so far and what it's like on a day-to-day basis to be in this position in a space that's so lucrative, that's so cutting edge, that people are constantly talking about. And if this is, the type of career that they would want to pursue for themselves. So even if you're not currently studying a digital major, it's definitely something that you can step into. I think there are no limitations here, as all three of you have proven. Moen, do you have any thoughts on that? Any comments?
Yeah, this is very true, Tanya. As we have heard in the previous episodes, that whether you're interested in or studying coding, marketing, software development, maybe sales and business, data analytics, everything under the sun, basically. And there are so many digital roles and functions to suit all the kind of skill sets and majors, even if, one is at the start of their career or finishing up their studies. So I want to ask three of you, can you just share how the journey in Schneider Electric began, from what you studied for your degree and then completing the graduate program, and what did your digital role looks like today? So can you just give a brief outline of it? Let's start with Abdullah and the rest can follow up.
Yes, sure, I can share. So actually, I'm an electromechanical engineer. My studies were more likely related to the energy part, whether they are renewable or not, and how our resources are being managed, and to optimize the operations, actually to use our resources in a more sustainable manner. So data analysis actually has been a crucial role in this, and it has been a crucial role in my graduation project itself. Like, we are studying the data from our consumption and from our loads, and then we're analyzing it, getting insights and recognizing patterns and trends so that we are getting the right action to be done. And luckily here in Schneider Electric, as a data steward in the marketing team of the digital building, I'm doing exactly the same, but maybe it's a bit more commercial. I'm studying the sales, the orders, and from the whole zone, like analyzing the supply chain itself and other factors actually and parameters before taking a data-driven decision in order to maintain our healthy KPIs. And it feels great actually when you see that your work is being led to taking real life actions. Yeah, so that's actually the main exciting part about it, and how did it actually start from the data analysis could be applied in every single aspect in our operations and in our life actually.
I couldn't agree with you more on that, Abdullah, because you've clearly shown the diversity within these data analysis roles that exist within Schneider. And that's incredible to hear about your journey from different types of projects. What about you, Ahmad? Did you have a similar experience, or was it different?
So in my case, as I mentioned before, I come from a computer engineering background, and I have double minors in both data science and computer science. So during my time at university, I was specifically focused on things to do with artificial intelligence, statistics, coding, all that mix. So when I came to Schneider, I first came in as a business analyst in the marketing department. So the marketing world was very new to me. I didn't really study much business in my university time. However, being a business analyst, I was able to both grow my already existing skill set as a data scientist and as a computer scientist. And at the same time, I was able to acquire this completely new skill set, for marketing, where I was able to not just make data-driven decisions, but I was also able to add a business aspect to those data-driven decisions, which really made me feel like a true business analyst. And even now, as an e-commerce analyst, I've further expanded on my role, and I'm still doing what I love all the way from my university time. And I'm still also continuing to learn every day about the business, about marketing, even more about data science, actually. So it's a very fun journey so far.
That's amazing, Ahmad. And I just love the fact that everyone has studied something different to what they're working. And similarly, that was the case with me. I did engineering, but somehow ended up in human resources. But that's another story for another day. And let's hear from Noor. Noor, did you also have a similar experience?
Yes. Actually, I really like conversations going because Abdullah moved from like the engineering part to the data part, and I made the opposite side. Mine too is similar to like I was studying computer science. My bachelor project was about fault detection in wind turbines using SCADA data, and this is where I found like connection between what I do. I was working with data, analyzing data to come up with maybe maintenance if like a turbine needs maintenance or something like that. I used to try to get into understand the data and analyze it in order to make decisions. When I came to Schneider, I found like the very similarities between both worlds, but I was taking it also from the business side, which was rather interesting. Like I know the technical information, I know the technical background, but I did not know how to apply it into business. And that was something I learned over the past period, and it was very much interesting to like see both worlds and connect them together, because I used to think I'm gonna be a software engineer and that was it, or a data scientist, and that's it. But understanding the connection between like the business world and the data science part was very interesting.
If I may add something just here, I just wanted to mention actually that you don't need to have a computer or a data educational background just to have a career in the data field. Like, you should have a data mindset actually in all of the aspects, whether it's energy, it's engineering, it's finance. Everyone needs to have this data mindset with the proper training actually and the proper education. It's essential to have this type of mindset in your work, whether your role is.
That's great, Abdullah. Thank you. And thank you for giving me that information. I might switch over my field now. I'm thinking within Schneider. Yeah.
Good luck with that, Moen. I hope that you get somewhere with it. But it's incredible to hear how far all of you have come. And I think we can all agree that the common thread or the red line that we've seen here is that learning, adapting is a big part of this journey. And as we like to say here at Schneider, and Moen kindly pointed out earlier, we have to learn every day. And I just want to ask for this next question. Was there an instance or a person at Schneider that enabled you or helped you push some of your boundaries to maybe, hone in on a skill, pick up a new skill, or learn something new? Could you maybe share an instance? Perhaps we can start with you, Noor.
Yes, sure. Okay, one thing I found in Schneider that was everyone was actually very supportive, and the idea that everyone around the globe, you can instantly call someone and they can help you and support you in a matter that you don't understand, and you can learn something new by just approaching people. So this was one of the things that was very interesting that actually helped me grow the past period. And during also the graduate program, we had this strategic project where we connected with different leaders around the world, and we worked on different projects with like different people and different themes. And through that, there was like this mentor who helped me a lot during this project, and which this person is like he really made me understand a lot of things, and he was one of the people like who supported me throughout.
Ahmad, maybe you want to go next and then share your experience?
Yes. So actually, to add on to my colleague Noor's experience, we all had to go through the strategic projects, and like she mentioned, they were very beneficial for us in terms of creating new networks, because we got to work with people all over the globe in Schneider, and at the same time, these projects really did help us further emphasize our skills. In my case, for example, I was working on a project where we had to sort of audit the Tableau dashboards for the innovation hubs that we have at Schneider. So, I was able to at least expand my Tableau skills that I primarily use in my work, actually. And at the same time, I was able to talk to, many managers of these innovation hubs. So it helped me build very good connections. Now, another major event that happened in Schneider was the Grad Academy that we had. So the Grad Academy was essentially Schneider's initiative to, help us all grow our skills, more specifically our selling skills. So they flew half of us to one side of the globe and half of us to another side of the globe. So we all got to kind of mix and got to know each other, because before that point we were all interacting through screens. But once we met up, we were actually able to exchange a lot of ideas. And the workshop was very, very beneficial, especially for me, because it helped me really grow my selling skills, even though I don't usually use it on a daily basis. But, it was still a very good skill set to have from the workshop. So the team behind it did a really good job by establishing it. And yeah, those really were I feel like the experiences that took me the furthest in my career here at Schneider.
It's great to hear that both of you were able to connect with so many people across the globe. And, it just goes to show how distance doesn't really matter. And I think, yes, now we've been fortunate enough to then be able to travel and meet people in person. But even remotely, it seems like you managed to learn a lot from the wide network that we have here at Schneider. Abdullah, what about you? What was like a significant learning experience that you've had so far?
Yes, we're here learning every day, and we're having super fantastic learning resources like the Data and AI School, which is in collaboration with Coursera, that we had access to, in addition to the MLL, which has actually a lot of useful resources. But the first thing that I'm personally speaking about is my managers and mentors. Like I'm 0% hesitant to tell him that this thing I don't know it, but I'm willing to know it. I'm not afraid to say that I don't know. It's fine. But he's always very supportive and understanding, actually. And the most important part is that you're actually getting a feedback. Especially as fresh grads, some people, they might be afraid of saying that I don't know, so I'm not secure enough. No, that's totally not the case here. So that's actually regarding the learning. And of course, we do make mistakes at the beginning. I did big mistakes. I can't say this, confidently, but I learned from them, and now I'm avoiding it. And when I meet the new grads that are upcoming, I just tell them just avoid doing this, not to fall in that thing again, and so on. And it's every batch delivers it to the upcoming ones.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about the support Schneider Electric provides, I think this is an aspect that is important to us as employees, that at Schneider Electric, we're very passionate about employees to act like owners and, equip them with the right tools to do so. Privileges of working in Schneider Electric. What say, Tanya?
No, it's very true. And I like how Abdullah mentioned about the Data and AI School and our partnership with Coursera. And it's funny that he mentioned it here, because next week I'm actually doing a course on AI for content marketing. And it's incredible. I would have never thought that I would be able to have something like this at work. I've been reading up a lot of articles on my own, but it's wonderful to have an organization that also supports you, especially for someone who's so young, so early in their careers. And speaking of early career talents, it's been interesting to see how the next generation is also looking for more when it comes to their work, not just career progression or interesting projects, but meaningful connections as well. And they have this desire and this passion to make a difference wherever they are, whether that be in work or in life, and align themselves to a broader mission. Would you agree with this? I'm just going to throw this to our guests here to see what they think about it. Like Imad, Noor, Abdullah, do you think that this is something that you resonate with as well and you actively seek out in your day-to-day?
Definitely, Tanya. I mean, I've mentioned before that one of the reasons I joined was my friends mentioned the company to me and their experience. But another reason was because the company, anywhere you look it up, whether it's Google or social media, the company is known for its mission to drive sustainable change. And it's a pride point for me, actually, to be working in such a company, because if you look into the world today, many companies don't necessarily follow the same mission. Whether it's not being sustainable enough, or some of them just don't really care too much about the mission. But Schneider Electric, it's very different. Any person you speak to always has a way to further drive sustainability. Everyone really does have a care and passion to make things better, not just for themselves, but for the world in general. So I most definitely agree that it's a very important point for me, and thankfully it's been addressed, beyond what I expected while working here.
Absolutely. And I think beyond this group, there are many people who probably feel the same way as well. Noor, what about you? What do you think about that?
Yes, I definitely agree. And I always think that what I do in life should always serve a bigger purpose and leave an impact in a way. So working in a place that the clear vision of what they're doing and why they're doing it makes it rather interesting and makes me enjoy what I'm doing more. So I definitely agree with what Ahmed said, and it serves also my own purpose as well. So this is how it is for me.
That's actually very nice, and I think the HRs in Schneider Electric are doing a great job. And also, I'm from the HR department, so I'm trying to advertise it.
Yeah.
But apart from learning, Schneider is also known for its commitment for sustainability, right? And an impact can be made no matter what role you're in, especially in a digital role. So, Emad, can you elaborate on how you're helping to, sort of drive sustainable change in your own role, and perhaps share something you have done at Schneider that you're proud of?
Definitely, Moen. So in my role, I've had the privilege and opportunities to work a lot with data, since I'm working mainly in the transactional marketing department, and that's the department that's sort of in the center of everything. So we get the data from pretty much everyone. Because of that, I was able to sort of hone my skills, and I was able to actually develop the first digital dashboard for our team to help report our sales and orders figures, because previously what we've been doing is we've been manually creating Excel reports every single time we get the numbers. So it was a very inefficient process, and I'm very happy to say that I was able to make it a lot more efficient and a lot less time consuming, which helps our marketing and sales guys focus their time on more things. Whether instead of spending it all just creating the reports, now they're able to quickly get the insights from the dashboard, and they're able to put their attention, into driving their own sustainable change and into driving the business to grow even further. So this is, I think, my proudest moment at Schneider has been working on this dashboard and still continuing to further develop it and get feedback from all of my colleagues and try to make it the best and most useful tool possible for people to use.
That was very well articulated, Ahmad. I think what a lot of people think when it comes to these graduate programs is that you're not working on anything significant, but your anecdote or your example just goes to show that that's not the case. And it's also, again, very impressive how you've articulated the impact of your work and getting to do that here. Noor, what about you? Have you come across any projects that you're proud of, or any work that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, sure. So I work with the install base management, which is something very specific in a way, and data analysis. And the process for the install base is huge. And there are different stakeholders and different parts and different roles for everyone's doing something, and the different stakeholders contribute in the whole process. So I've been working on that, on managing this process and trying to find also as a digital way to maintain the process from the very first stakeholder to the last one till achieving the point that we want, till achieving the target. So I've been working on that closely and trying to create a change in the process in order to facilitate it and to make it accessible and easy for everyone, and for everyone to know what they need to do in this journey in order to reach the end target. So yeah, I've been working on that, and because everything is changing, and we need to change the process in order to accommodate with how the world is changing.
I couldn't agree more with you, Noor. And what about you, Abdullah?
We are here in Schneider on a daily basis. We are actually utilizing digital tools that we have in order to run simulations and so on. And another thing that I'm really proud of, that I've been part of building a fully detailed database for digital building products in the Middle East and Africa zone, in the MEA zone. This database actually is linked to a dashboard that's used to monitor our performance in the market and make us more able to take data-driven decisions. This makes us more efficient, and that's something to be proud of. And other than this, I'm actually proud of our products, especially after coming from an energy background. I can see how our products are performing in the market and how they're actually digitizing the energy in which we are leading in.
Imad, Noor and Abdullah, we can't thank you enough for sharing your incredible journey with us today. It's been truly inspiring and we have learnt a lot from you. Don't you think so, Tanya?
Absolutely. I think my main takeaway, Abdullah summarized this very beautifully at the end of our episode today, was how our products are making a difference. And this is all thanks to a whole host of efforts from a lot of people, including our guests from today. They are indeed innovators and have come quite far in their journey, in their early career journey. And it's so incredible and encouraging to hear that anyone else can step into this space with the right mindset and the willingness to learn every day, if I must say.
I couldn't agree more with you, Tanya. And if I have to say what my takeaway would be from this episode, my takeaway from this episode is Schneider Electric's graduate program offers remarkable opportunities for early career talents to grow, learn and contribute. Of course, to the company's sustainability mission. And it's inspiring to see how the three of you have transitioned into successful digital roles, regardless of your specific majors or skill sets. And this highlights the fact that digital career path is open to everybody, whether you're studying coding, marketing, software development, or any other field. And there are diverse digital roles at Schneider Electric that can align with your passion and expertise, allowing you to make a real impact in the digital world.
That's a great summary, Moen. And to our listeners, if you're inspired by their stories and interested in our graduate program or a digital career at Schneider, we will include our careers website link in our show notes for you to check out.
And before we wrap up, a big thank you for tuning into this episode. And don't forget to subscribe and share and leave your reviews. And we look forward to tuning in with you for the next episode. See you.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Own Your Career, Own Your Future podcast. Be sure to head over to the Schneider Electric careers page at se.com/careers to check out our open opportunities and sign up to join our talent community to receive exclusive invitations to events, career tips and company updates. Visit our Schneider Electric blog at blog.se.com to read employees' stories and learn about a variety of career paths. Last but not least, remember to follow and subscribe to the show in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify to listen to all the available episodes. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show.